Then on Sports Central, we go for a college football game preview and prediction on the Week 1 matchup between the USC Trojans and the LSU Tigers, two teams that I could see being true college football playoff dark horses this season. Two talented teams with fresh starts, a huge matchup coming up here in Week 1. We'll be going over a full game preview and prediction on this matchup here today. So with that, let's get started. Games be on Sunday, September 1st in Las Vegas. This is our Sunday night matchup of Week 1. Spread's going LSU by 4 here. So the Tigers a slight favorite, same in the FPI, over under 64.5, so a higher scoring game can be expected. It makes total sense, though, when you look at both teams. You got two really strong offenses, two defenses that weren't great last season, especially for USC. I mean, you look at USC, their offense last season could have easily made it all the way to the college football playoff, but it was the defense that just held this team back. And you honestly could say the same about LSU last season, having Jaden Daniels in there, a team that you could argue had the best offense in the country. So, I mean, it's last season, it just was the defenses that really held these two teams back. But you look at the series history, it's tied 1-1. The last time we saw these two teams play each other was back in 1984, so a long time ago. When LSU won in Los Angeles. Stat comparison for this one. I mean, once again, we mentioned two of the best offenses in the country last season. Well, these two teams were 1 and 2 when it came to points per game last season. LSU was 1, USC was 2. So obviously things are different. 2024 is a different season, and I mean, no more Jaden Daniels and no more Caleb Williams. Instead, it's Garrett Nussmeier on the LSU side, and then Miller Moss on the USC side, which both quarterbacks show tremendous upside. We haven't really seen much of either, but both quarterbacks really shined in their respective bowl games last season. So I think both offenses are really in good hands under their respective quarterbacks. You look at the defenses, though, once again, I mean, USC was 117th in points allowed. I mean, second ranked team in points per game and then 117th in points allowed. That's a big difference for sure. And for LSU, they were first and 86th. It was the pass defense that was a big issue for LSU last season. So, I mean, but if you look at this team in LSU all around, they had the third ranked pass offense in the country and then the 14th ranked rush offense. So LSU in general, a really strong team last season and scored the most points in the country. Your key points, LSU 8-5 last season. They were incredible on offense, but just bad on defense in 2023. You look at this team down the stretch in the 2023 season. I mean, they played some really tough teams. The Pac-12 was really competitive last season, and this team just kind of got overshadowed by Washington and Oregon especially. But, I mean, they allowed 52 to Washington, 36 to Oregon, 38 to UCLA. They beat Cal, but still allowed 49 points to them. I mean, you look at the last 8 games of the regular season for this team, from the Colorado game to the UCLA game, this team allowed an average of 42 points in each of those games. That's just an insane stat, and that kind of gives you an idea as to what the issue was last season. It was the defense for USC, and this offense could have led this team to the college football playoff easily last year. So, I mean, you look at the Trojans, though, defense obviously needs improving. Miller Moss, I think, is the right quarterback for this team, and he can definitely lead them to success here. I mean, even for USC, Garrett Nussmeier, he's going to have a huge influence on how far this Tiger team goes in 2024. Jaden Daniels was incredible last season. Really, I mean, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, two best quarterbacks in the country last year for sure. And so it's going to be different for both teams, but I think both quarterbacks are honestly in positions for successful seasons here in 2024. I mean, so for both teams, a huge opportunity for a near early season win. And I would say winner of this game is a true dark horse national contender as well. I mean, loser of this game is, it's still week 1, so loser of this game is still very much a contender, especially with the 12-team playoff now. But this is obviously a huge chance to start off the season with a massive win over a really solid team. So with that, let's get the prediction here for USC and LSU. Coming up here on Sunday night, huge matchup of week 1. I'm going to go with LSU here 38-35. I think the Tigers find a way to win this matchup. USC is a really strong team as well. I honestly really like the positions that both teams are in. heading into week one. I think both offenses are in really good hands under their respective quarterbacks. It's just about the defenses here. Which defense shows up more and which defense is more improved looking forward to 2024. I mean, because it was the defenses that held both these teams back last season. But I think LSU wins off a last-second field goal or something late, and they win it by 3. So technically, I do have USC covering the spread, but it's really, once again, one of those games that could totally go either way. Pretty much a toss-up. I'm going LSU 55%, taking the over as well. And the Tigers find a way to have a massive week one win. But with that, let me know your thoughts in the comments below on this matchup, your score predictions, all of that. And I appreciate you guys watching as always. My name is Evan. This is All Sports Central. Stay tuned for more. We'll catch you on the next one.